Today is 28th of January and I welcome you all at Thinking Palette, the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, before starting, I would like to tell you that if you are new here or joining for the first time, you can download the explainer notes from our Telegram channel. The link for explainer notes have been given in description box in YouTube, or you can directly visit Telegram and there you can search the channel by typing Thinking Palette by Sahil. There you will get the notes. And thank you everyone for asking about my health. Now I am feeling fine. Thank you so much for that thing. Now, before starting, first of all, I would like to show you the overview of the newspaper so that you can understand that actually which articles are important in the today's newspaper, so that you can learn the art of identification of important news items. So first article here we can see India sends a notice to Pakistan to amend 1960 Indus Pact. So guys, this is an important article with respect to the GS paper number 2, international relations, neighborhoods, relation with the neighborhoods. We are going to discuss this entire issue, not this entire issue, but the background of this article also will be taking. Then further, Rahul alleges a security breach, moves to bulletproof car. Not important article with respect to the examination. Then guys, moving, Tamil is the oldest language. So Prime Minister interacted with the students in Pariksha Pe Charcha. Okay, and there he had said that we should be proud, and indeed we are proud to have the world's oldest language, that is Tamil. Moving on in this particular direction. Then guys, coming to city section, so regional issues, fine BBC movie being shown in different universities, protest, all these things are going on. Supreme Court to hear AAP's plea on mayoral polls next week. Okay, so we have seen this particular thing, guys, that the deadlock between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party has been there on the mayoral poll. Then moving on, guys, however, you don't need to go and track these day-to-day developments with respect to the regional political issues that are there. However, we have seen that how often confrontations between UT of Delhi and between central government has happened. So that is a federal issue. Okay, so federal issues are different. Fine, that is important. We need to see them. Then further moving on, guys, in this particular direction, Supreme Court to hear plea on EPS signature for poll nomination. Now guys, the article is not containing much of academic substance for the sake of our examination. No need to go too much in the hairline details, which are not that much necessary for the examination. Then moving on, again the political articles etc. have been given throughout the newspaper. Now here we can see rise in waterbird count recorded in Kerala's capital. So Asian waterbird census have happened. So we'll see this Asian waterbird census and all the related dimensions we are going to see. Then we'll reach to editorial section, the moral and the intellectual crisis in economic policies. We'll see this article with respect to the examination as what it is talking about. Then founding ideals, adherence to basic principles of constitution is what unifies India. So we have seen, guys, already that President of India has made an address on the eve of Republic Day, where she had said this thing that diversity is something which have united India. She had talked about the important constitutional values of India and all that kind of a thing. So on the same thing, the thing is being carried. Okay, the article has been carried. Then India's groundwater governance is in better shape. We'll see this entire article as what it is talking about for the exam. Great expectation. Budget 23-24 must balance electoral signaling with fiscal prudence. Now, guys, no need to go and read this article. Why? Because within 1 week, exact budget will come and we'll see that what exactly has come in the budget. So this is saying that the budget should have this, that. So many articles are going to come before the budget. They will not make any sense once the actual real budget will come. Okay, so I will not suggest you to go and waste your time in that kind of a thing. Then further moving on, so guys, on Saturday we have ground zero report, and this ground zero report gives us some accounts on certain incidents from the people's viewpoint as how people are suffering there. So from ground zero the reporting is actually done. Now invisible boundaries, visible apathy. Now this ground zero report is on Maharashtra Karnataka boundary dispute. Now guys, we will see academically as what this article is all about. So we will be taking this article and some extra substance also we are going to take, but other details, okay, other ground zero reports, that is not that much important here, but we'll see that what is this major article talking about. Then today is a Saturday, so on Saturday we have text and context pages not there. So therefore we don't have text and context for the today's section. Now guys, here you see this thing. RBI SEBI should probe charges against Adani Group, says Congress CPI. So recently, Hindenburg report has been released, which has made certain allegations on Adani. Okay, so we'll see this particular thing. Okay, that what it is all about. Boycott culture, targeting film sends out a wrong message. So guys, here we see this thing that Union Information and Broadcasting Minister has given a important and a sensible message that when we are going in the line of the boycotting culture, fine, it impacts India's soft power. Now guys, understand this thing that we actually, Bollywood has always played a very important role in protruding India's soft power. Moreover, we are inviting film producers to India to produce the movies. So these kind of things don't give a good message. Okay. So guys, what has happened? So, Minister of Information and Broadcasting had inaugurated SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization's film festival. Okay, now beyond that, you don't need to go in this article. If you remember, guys, day before yesterday, I have discussed with you entire SCO that we this year 2023 are also holding the chairmanship of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. We have also invited the foreign minister of Pakistan in India for a SCO ministers meet. Then we'll invite the prime minister also of Pakistan in India, because we are the SCO's chairman now. So under that, many initiatives will be started. So SCO Film Festival has been inaugurated, where the different films will be showcased. Okay, moving on. Now, please don't go and see that, okay, how many movies are being screened, which movies are being screened and all such kind of things. Okay, so no need to go in that particular thing. Okay. So 58 international films from 14 countries, by the way, will be shown, but you don't need to go and track that. Then after that, we have a political articles. No need to go too much in the detail in this. Then after that, guys, former Odisha CM joins BRS. No need to go there in these particular kind of an articles for the examination. 130 model villages proposed in areas along the eastern border. So guys, see this particular thing, that as we talk about India and China on line of actual control, we have seen this particular thing that a lot of confrontations have increased. First of all, in 2020, Galwan Valley dispute happened between India and China. Few weeks back, we have seen that in Arunachal Pradesh, in Tawang sector, there was confrontation between Indian and Chinese soldier. So what China has done, it has carried the rampant border development, and in that thing, we also want to develop the villages on the border regions. Now guys, in this article, it is not mentioned, but remember, there is one program also, that is the Vibrant Village program. Under the Vibrant Village program, the government will help in developing the villages on the border areas, and basic sanitation, basic amenities will be provided. So keep that one program in your mind, that is the Vibrant Village program. Okay, so that is all about it. However, guys, moving on further, then these tenders, etc., we don't need to go. Cheetah project to bring in 12 big cats. We'll see this particular article, not this article, but beyond this article also we are going to see. Then after that, Kashmiri Pashmina shawls get new age French touch. So with respect to prelims, we'll see this article also. Okay, Bangladesh hill tribes seek support against their extermination. So guys, there are some of the tribes that live in the regions of Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. Okay, and here we have one particular tribe, that is the Kuki-Chin tribe. Okay, we have though discussed the Kuki-Chin tribe also multiple number of times in the exam. Chin Kuki tribe. Chin Kuki tribe. Now these Chin Kuki tribe, they are living in Bangladesh, Chittagong hill tract of the Bangladesh, and they are facing the persecution. Okay, so they have asked the support. Then further moving on in this particular direction, then we come to the world's page. West Bank on the edge after Israeli raids, rocket attacks. So guys, we see this thing that in Israel, West Bank, these issues, they do happen from time to time. Okay, now do you go and need to remember these raids, these rocket attacks, how many people died? No. Okay, when we talk about international page, particularly, I have told you many number of times that only those articles are important which have some direct implication on India's foreign policy, etc. Putin blast neo-Nazis. Okay, then after that, guys, moving on in this particular direction. So largely we have only the evolutionary issues. Then SEBI said to raise a scrutiny of Adani Group transactions. Okay, we'll see that what is this entire issue that has happened in this particular direction. After that, guys, further moving on in this particular direction. Okay, current account deficit manageable, RBI governor, then corporate trends, etc. has been given, and then we have the sports page. So this is, guys, all about the overview of the newspaper. Now let's discuss all the relevant articles that are important for examination one by one in detail. And I have told you earlier also that why we take overview of the newspaper. So guys, that you can understand that which articles are important, which articles are to be seen only, headings, all such kind of things. So today we are going to take quotation from Archibald MacLeish, who says, democracy is never a thing done. Democracy is never a thing done. Democracy is always something that a nation must be doing. So democracy is a process. Democracy is a process. Democracy is not a destination. Democracy is not a destination. Democracy is a process. Countries are called, nations are always evolving and are trying to become more and more democratic. Okay, what is to be democratic? Democratic is to aspire for certain ideals: justice, freedom, liberty, equality, preserving the dignity of all the human beings. Now, there will never be a single day where you will say that, okay, we have given the absolute dignity, we have given the absolute justice. Now, the point is that day by day, you'll evolve. Day by day, a nation will become more mature, will achieve the higher and higher standards of justice, will achieve higher and higher standards of giving dignity to people. So, democracy is a process which goes on. Country becomes more and more democratic. It is not just a thing. You cannot say that we have just built the constitution, we have just adopted this type of a political system and we have become democratic, there is nothing left. No, you cannot say, you can never say that thing. Okay, so understand this particular thing, and we can use this particular idea in GS paper number 2, GS paper number 4, as well as in essay. We can use this particular idea. So that is about it. And now let's take the first article. Okay, fine. Now taking the first article. So first of all, let's read the heading of the article. Then we will take the background of this article. Then we'll see what this article is all about, and then we'll see the relevance of this article. So I hope that this is clear. So first of all, this article, it reads, India sends notices to Pakistan to amend 1960 Indus Pact. This article's utility will be in GS paper number 2, international relation, India and neighborhood relation, and within India and neighborhood relation, India-Pakistan relation, we are going to discuss. Guys, understand this particular thing, that whenever you talk about the international relation between two countries, there is number one, the basic background history of a particular country. Second, guys, that whenever we track the international relation, we track the convergences between the two countries. And then thirdly, we track the divergences or irritants between two nations. Okay, and then fourthly, we talk about a way forward as how to resolve these divergences and how to deepen these convergences. So this particular article that we are going to discuss today, it majorly concerns the irritants between India and Pakistan relation. Now the point is that the Indus Water Treaty that we are going to discuss, that actually has been both irritant as well as the point of convergence, because this happens to be one of the world's most successful international transnational river treaty that has been successful, and at the same time, from time to time, irritants also develop. We'll understand all these particular things in the today's article. Okay, now first of all guys, when we talk about India and Pakistan, Pakistan shares many of the transnational rivers between them, and the most important rivers that we share between India and Pakistan, these are the rivers of the Indus river system. So basically, to divide the rivers of Indus water system properly between India and Pakistan have signed Indus Water Treaty. India and Pakistan have signed Indus Water Treaty way back in 1960. Now, this particular treaty was brokered by World Bank. It was brokered by World Bank, and for more than 60 years, Indus Water Treaty has regulated the water relations between India and Pakistan. Let's understand about this particular treaty little bit more in the detail. So, as per Indus Water Treaty, what has happened? Here guys, just I will zoom this map so that you can see very clearly. Okay, so here we see this particular thing, that the three rivers have been given to Pakistan for their usage. That is, Indus River has been given to Pakistan, Jhelum River and Chenab River. So these three rivers have been given to Pakistan, and the three rivers, that is the Ravi, Beas and Satluj, these three rivers have been given to India for their usages, for their exclusive usages. Now, as we talk about the amount or the quantity of water that is actually going to India and Pakistan, guys, we see this particular thing that under these particular rivers, 80% of the water quantum that is there, okay, 80% of the water quantum that is there, it will go to Pakistan, and 20% of the water quantum is there, that is going to India. Now, understand, under this particular treaty, it has been provided that three rivers are for Pakistan, three rivers are for India, okay, but at the same time, India can use the rivers that have been given to Pakistan for non-consumptive usage. Non-consumptive usage. It means that India can construct run of the river water projects. Okay, ROR water projects. Now, what are these ROR water projects? Basically, guys, understand this thing that suppose this is a river going on. Okay, now the point is that you can build a dam on a river and can store a lot of water. You can build a dam on the river, can store a lot of water, and then you can divert this particular water for irrigation purposes. You can divert this particular water for consumption purposes, for some developmental purposes, etc. Okay, this is one type of project. But other type of project are the run of the river water project. Okay, now under these particular projects, what can happen? You cannot divert water. You cannot divert water in your own country. For example, you cannot divert this particular water for irrigation, for consumption, for developmental purposes. These are the run of the river water project. So point is that, guys, when we talk about the three rivers that have been given to India, okay, so when we talk about the Ravi, Beas and Satluj, when we talk about the Ravi, Beas and Satluj, whatever we want to do with the water in these rivers, we can do that thing. We can use it for irrigation, we can use for consumption, no problem. But when these three rivers are there, we can construct the dams on these rivers. We can construct the dams on these particular rivers, but these will be the ROR dam. Why? Because the treaty provides that for non-consumptive purposes, even their water can be used by India. Is it clear or not? So, now, fine, this is going on. Okay, now guys, in this particular direction, what has happened over the years, we have constructed certain developmental projects on the rivers that have been actually allocated to Pakistan, particularly on Jhelum and Chenab River. So actually, guys, there are the two projects that we have constructed. One is the Kishan Ganga project, Kishan Ganga Dam, and other is the Ratle Dam. Kishan Ganga Dam and Ratle Dam. These are the two dams that we have constructed. Okay, why? Because we have the right to do that thing. We are not using that particular water. We have just constructed these two dams. Okay, so basically these are the two dams that we have constructed over the years. I will just zoom it out. Fine. Yes. Okay. Fine. So we have constructed the Kishan Ganga, we have constructed the Kishan Ganga hydroelectric project. Now this particular project is on the Jhelum River. Remember these particular locations also. It is on the Jhelum River. It was started way back in 2006. It will generate 330 megawatt of hydroelectricity. Okay, so we will not store the water, will not divert the water. River will flow, the water will fall, and then it will rotate the turbine, electricity will be generated, and then water will go to Pakistan, will not divert that water. And one more project we have developed, that is 850 megawatt Ratle hydroelectric project. Now these two projects are in Jammu and Kashmir, and this project we have constructed on the Chenab River. Okay, so these are the two projects that we developed here. Okay, so guys, if I show you the map, so this picture, just a minute, yes, if I show you this particular picture, so guys, here we can see that the north, on the north, here we have, on the north, number one, we have the Kishan Ganga Dam, and on the south, number two, on the Chenab, we have the Ratle Dam. Now for these particular dams, again and again, Pakistan has approached to the World Bank. Pakistan has approached, has actually raised this particular matter in the permanent commissioners panel that we have constituted. Now, first of all, let's understand that what is the mechanism between the two countries if they have dispute on some particular project or even some particular kind of an issue. So basically, guys, as we have signed this Indus Water Treaty, as we have signed this particular Indus Water Treaty, under the Indus Water Treaty, there is article number 9 of this particular treaty. This particular article 9 deals with that if there is any dispute between India and Pakistan on any river, on any project, how that particular dispute will be resolved. So under this article number 9, there are the 3 steps that can be taken. Number 1, if there is any dispute, the countries will constitute permanent Indus Commission. Permanent Indus Commission. By the way, this permanent Indus Commission will have the members of both Pakistan and India, and actually they have to meet every year to share information about the water usage, to raise the issues if there are there. So this permanent Indus Commission, it is a body which meets almost every year. Okay, so you can raise the matter here. If the matter is not settled in the permanent Indus Commission, which have the members of both Pakistan and India, I am repeating again and again, then you will go fine, it has India and Pakistan delegation of water experts. Okay, then you will go to the World Bank appointed neutral expert. You will go to World Bank. Why World Bank? Because World Bank brokered this 1960 Indus Water Treaty. Okay, so you will go there. However, if so, second is that you will go to the World Bank. Now, even if the World Bank is not able to solve that particular dispute, then you can ask for a court settlement. A special court will be established, okay, and adjudication will be done by the World Bank and the Permanent Court of Arbitration. Okay, so you will go and you will approach the court settlement. Now the point is that India wants that first you should follow step 1, then you should follow step 2, and then you should follow step 3. So first, permanent Indus Commission should raise the matter. Second, World Bank neutral expert should raise the matter. And third, we can go for the court settlement under the World Bank and Permanent Court of Arbitration. But what Pakistan does, Pakistan directly reaches the Permanent Court of Arbitration and wants the court settlement. Why Pakistan directly reaches to the step number 3? Because Pakistan wants to internationalize that particular matter unnecessarily. India have said this particular thing that since 1960, we have successfully managed the water sharing agreement between India and Pakistan. But why Pakistan again and again internationalizes this particular matter? So this is the concern that India has. Now, before going on this particular issue, now guys, the present article will come now. All this what we have discussed, it is background. Okay. Now, some more detailed information, guys, I want to give you. Fine. Now, first point here, that when we talk about, guys, the treaty, fine, we have discussed that there is, okay, just a minute. Okay, so fine, we have already discussed that in the treaty we have the different mechanisms to deal with these particular issues. Okay, but when we talk about India and Pakistan, after Uri attack that were carried, Prime Minister suspended the talks between the commissioners, fine, the Permanent Indus Commission and the Permanent Indus Commission commissioners, which were meeting regularly. That particular was stopped. Okay, but now they have started to meet again. Now, guys, first of all, I just want to give you an additional point not mentioned in this particular article, but you should remember it not only for this article but for other articles also. So basically, when we talk about India, India is a sovereign state. And as per the Article 64 of Vienna Convention, Article 64 of the Vienna Convention, India has the power that India can withdraw from any international treaty. India can withdraw from any international treaty if India doesn't want to like it. Okay. Now, Indus Water Treaty is also an international treaty. So, point is that India first of all has the power that if India can ask for renegotiation of this treaty, India can withdraw for this treaty. So, first of all, you need to know this thing. Now, what is the present issue that has come? Okay, so guys, the present issue that has come in this particular direction is that India India has raised this thing that we want to modify the Indus Water Treaty with the Pakistan. Now, why we want to modify the Indus Water Treaty? Because we say that the Pakistan don't want to resolve the dispute between India and Pakistan constructively on Kishan Ganga River, on Kishan Ganga Dam, Ratle Dam. There have been disputes, but what India has done, Pakistan has directly reached the Court of Arbitration at Hague, Permanent Court of Arbitration at Hague. Now I have told you that first you should follow step 1, then step 2, and then step 3. Pakistan has directly reached the step 3. So there is intransigence. Fine, in Pakistan, Pakistan doesn't want to solve this matter in a proper civilized manner, in a constructive manner. Directly they are reaching to the step number 3. So India wants that this particular treaty needs to be renegotiated. This treaty needs to be renegotiated, and we want to put a very specific clause in this particular treaty that you need to reach the next step only after you have explored the earlier steps. So only you have done step 1, that is you have reached to the permanent Indus commissioners. Secondly, you have reached the neutral body under World Bank, then only you can go for the court settlement. Fine. So India wants this particular treaties to be settled. Okay. It is needed to be renegotiated. So this is the India's demand that India has raised here. Is it clear or not? So guys, this is all about it, and all the notes that we have discussed here, fine, along with the location, fine, which are important for your prelims examination, location of particularly the Ratle Dam, the Kishan Ganga Dam, the rivers on which they are located, they are important. So I have given all these notes also here. So I hope that you have understood this entire topic. So guys, if you know the background, the concept is not more than 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Moving on. Then next to the next article. Okay. RBI SEBI should probe charges against Adani Group, says Congress CPI. Now, first of all, let's make sense of this article. Let's make sense of this particular article. First of all, guys, you need to understand one thing, and you need to decide that you need to understand that you are preparing for UPSC CSE examination, or even if you are preparing for other state examinations, but you are not preparing for the CA exam, okay, CS exam, okay, chartered accountancy or company secretaries exam, you are not preparing. The point is that don't please try to assume mastery in this particular subject. Don't watch 1 hour 40 minutes of video explaining that what this particular scam has happened. Why? There are 2 reasons. Reason number 1, that just now allegations have been made. Okay, till the point these allegations are not proven, you can till the point the allegations are not proven, we don't have any concrete. One thing. Second point is that the exam doesn't ask a question on that particular thing, that point is that even in the past questions have been asked. For example, the questions have been asked that what reformatory steps we have taken for enhancing corporate governance, but they don't ask the details about a scam or about a particular criminal case, etc., that has happened. Okay, so neither exact questions are asked, nor we know right now that what exactly has happened. Okay, so but we are going to discuss one important concept here. I'll talk about that in just in a minute. But first of all, let me tell you the context. So basically, guys, an American. Okay, fine. So here, guys, we see this particular thing that okay. So a US based short seller, Hindenburg Research. So this US short seller Hindenburg Research have published one report, and in this particular report they have said this particular thing, that the Adani Industries, they have carried number 1 stock manipulation. And secondly, what they have done, they have carried the accounting fraud. They have re-engineered their accounting books. Okay, so balance sheets have been re-engineered. Okay, profits have been re-engineered to show the favorable condition of the company. Because of that particular thing, what they have done, deliberately they have ensured that the prices of the Adanis, they go up. Okay, moreover they have also said this particular thing, that they have ensured, they have also taken unsustainable market debts. By that unsustainable market debts, they have carried the expansion, okay, which further also helped in increasing the stock prices, okay, and many allegations. Actually the report is very, very big. So actually, in a nutshell, what they have done, that they have carried for manipulation of their share prices, stock prices, and they have also carried the accounting fraud. Now, this is the allegation that have been made. Again, I'm telling you that you don't need to go and do a lot of mastery on those allegations, because not the concern of our examination. Now the point is that, guys, this issue has become, it has become concerning for India. There are certain reasons for that particular thing. What are reasons? Let's understand them first, and then I'm going to discuss important concept on which the question can be asked, that what is this short selling? Because this Hindenburg short seller, so this short selling, it is a keyword, because many number of times question comes in exam. For example, this was in news, what it means. Okay, so that is something. Now, first of all, guys, let's understand this particular issue little bit more. Now, first of all, in GS paper number 4, we have corporate governance. We have corporate governance. Okay. Now, guys, within the corporate governance, what we need? We need ethical corporate governance. We need ethical corporate governance. Okay. Now, understand that when we talk about these corporates, these entities, if they involve in any kind of a scam, if they involved in any kind of a corruption, the investors who have invested money in that, those investors will face a loss. So there will be an economic loss. Secondly, guys, what will happen when these corporates are involving in such kind of a corruption, such kind of a scam, they are manipulating the stock prices, they are doing accounting frauds, what happen? It erodes the investor confidence. It erodes the investor confidence. It erodes the investor confidence. Thirdly, it sets a bad precedence for other to follow. It sets bad precedence for other to follow. So this particular matter is not just an economic, it is not just an economic matter, rather it is also the matter of lack of ethical corporate governance. Okay, we have seen in the past that many big ticket scams such as the Satyam scam, etc., have happened. So the point is that these scams are needed to be curtailed. Okay, this is a very big issue. Secondly, guys, as we talk about the Adanis. Now we see this particular thing, that in the Adani Industries, a lot of money has been invested by LIC. Now, guys, see this particular thing, that you are, let's say, taking a life insurance policy from LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. LIC is receiving a lot of money. Where that particular money is being invested? So that money is invested in certain kind of securities and stocks. So LIC, okay, SBI, they have a lot of exposure in the Adani's stocks. Now, as if this particular thing comes out that Adani had carried some stock manipulation, they have carried some accounting fraud, and that particular thing is proved. Now understand this thing, right now only allegations have been made, but if this particular thing gets proven, okay, if that particular thing is proved, then that particular thing will come, that Adani's stock prices were artificially inflated. Adani's stock prices were artificially inflated. Okay, and by that particular thing, what happened? The stock prices are going to go down. Now understand this particular thing, guys. How a company's stock market prices are determined, how a company's share prices are determined. They are determined on majorly on the demand and supply basis. Okay, if any shares demand will increase, what will happen? Its price is going to go up. Why a shares demand will increase? A shares demand will increase, A, on the basis of balance sheet of a company. Okay, how much profit a company is making, how much dividend a company is making. B, future prospects. B, future prospects. Is it clear or not? Now the point is that what we have seen in the case of Adani, that Adani has done accounting manipulation. They have increased their share prices by going in accounting manipulation, etc. What they do? Suppose they show more profit. Fine, we are registering more and more profit. Okay, by that particular thing, a favorable perception will be made, and as favorable perception will be made, more and more people will demand. The share price will go up. Okay, and when this particular thing will be discovered, whenever this particular thing will be discovered, that their profitability or their prices did not went because of the good performance of the company, rather it went up because of such manipulation that was doing, what will happen? The investors who have invested the money, they will enter in a state of frenzy selling, in the state of frenzy selling, where what they will do, they'll sell, they'll dump their stocks, and by that particular thing, what will happen? The prices will come down, and the people who have invested the money, who have invested their fortune, who have invested their savings, they will get impacted. Okay, so this particular allegation have been made. Now point is that this allegation have been made, and now Congress, CPI, they are asking, now Congress, CPI is asking that we should carry detailed inquiries, that whether whatever allegation have been made, these allegations are true, whether they have some substance or any such kind of a thing. So such kind of a request has been made. In this particular capacity, guys, now Securities Exchange Board of India, SEBI, who is the stock market regulator of India, SEBI, they have said this particular thing, that they are going to scrutinize the Adani Group's transactions, they are going to scrutinize the Adani Group's deal, the foreign portfolio investments that have come in Adani Group, their accounting, etc. All will be studied. Okay, so then final report will be published. Okay, and then whatever RBI and SEBI will upheld, that we need to see. Till then, all are allegations. Okay, so we don't need to go for that examination much in this particular direction. Okay, guys, I hope that you are understanding it. Okay, so we will not be going in any kind of a unnecessary speculation. Now this keyword is coming in news. What is the short selling? Short selling. Okay, now guys, what is this short selling all about? So basically, this Hindenburg is a short selling group. So what is this short selling activity? Because when such kind of a things comes, okay, they ask usually in the examination. So basically, guys, if you have traded, if you have not traded in stock market, there is a usual assumption that a person will only make money when the share prices will go up. For example, you have bought a particular share at 100 rupees. Okay, when its price will go to 120 rupees, you will make 20 rupees profit in between. This is a normal understanding, but no, there is also one more way to make money in share prices, and that is the way in which a lot of people actually made money in 1929 crisis. Okay, in 1927-28, when the share market was falling, okay, in USA, and when in 2007-8, okay, when the share market was falling, a lot of people made a lot of money. Actually, there is a short selling. There is short selling. What is short selling? Short selling is a process where you make money, when the prices of a share will go down. When the price of a share will go down, then also you can make money, and that is the short selling. Okay, so what is this short selling? Let's understand this thing. So basically, guys, what a short seller is going to do, okay, now I will just take example. Just now see this thing. There is a broker, and then there is a short seller. So the short seller, suppose I am a short seller. What is a short seller? It means that I will make money when the share prices will go down. That is the short seller. So what I will do, I will go to the broker, and I will borrow the shares from the broker at a particular price. For example, I will borrow the shares at 100 rupees. Okay, I will borrow the share at the 100 rupees, that okay, you give me 10 shares at 100 rupees, because right now the price is 100 rupees. That is something I am going to give. I will say that what I'll do, I am not going to give you money for this, rather I will give back your shares to you. Today I have taken 10 shares, I will return these 10 shares to you after 10 days, 15 days. Okay, in between, obviously, the broker will charge some margin, but I am not going to pay him money. I am going to give back the shares. So today I have borrowed the 10 shares. Okay, what I am going to do, right today, the market is at 100 rupees. I will take these shares, and I will sell these shares on the market. Okay, what I did, 100 shares, 10 shares, 100 rupees each, I got 1000 rupees. Now I expect that the market will fall. I will wait for 2, 3, 4 days, and let's say market falls. Market falls. And the same stock which was of 100 rupees, this stock, let's say, falls to 90 rupees. 90 rupees. What I'll do? Now I will buy the share. Now I will buy the share at 900 rupees. Okay. And what I will do? I will give these shares, 10 shares that I have taken back to the broker. I will give that share back to the broker. Now the point is that what has happened, I have made 100 rupees margin in between. Is it clear or not? Why? Because now see, point is that I am returning the shares. I took 10 shares, I give the 10 shares. Okay, I am returning the shares. How I made money? Because when I took his 10 shares, I sold that 10 shares in the market. I got immediately 1000 rupees. Then I bought the shares at 90 rupees. I paid 900 rupees. In between, 100 rupees is my margin. Now, obviously, this will not work all the time. This will not work all the time. Many number of times, what will happen? I borrowed the share at 100 rupees and I said that I'll return you your shares in 10 days. What happened? After 10 days, the 100 rupee share reached to 120 rupee. 100 rupee share reached to 120 rupee. I have to return back the 10 shares. What I am going to do? I am buying now these shares at 120 rupees and will give that back. So 200 rupees loss I suffered here. Obviously there will be the loss and there will be the profit sometimes, okay, but short selling is there, which happens. It is legal. It happens where you can make money by the falling share prices as well. So these are the short sellers, what they do. So this Hindenburg report or this Hindenburg organization, it is a short seller. So many people operate on that particular thing. So guys, first of all, tell me, is this short selling clear or not? Okay guys, I am just waiting for your reply. Okay, so please tell me, is this short selling clear or not? Yes guys, is this short selling clear or not? Please tell me fast. Okay, chalo, moving on. Clear? Fine. Okay, clear. Okay guys, देखो, understand this particular thing that clear. I got one doubt, that little clear. Okay, what profit to broker? Broker will get some brokerage. Okay, will get a particular kind of a margin. Fine. Nothing is happening here. What I am going to do, I will borrow the shares from the broker. I will borrow the share. I say that you give me 10 share, I will give you 10 shares, your 10 shares back after 10 days. You take some little bit margin from me. He says that, okay, what I am going to do, the 10 shares that I have taken today, I will sell that share today in the market. I will get some money. I am assuming that the share price will go down. After 5 days, let's say share price went down actually. From 100 rupees, share price went down to 90 rupees. Now what I will do, I will buy now the shares at 90 rupees and will give the 10 shares back to the person. I have said to this person, the broker, that I am going to give you the 10 shares. Okay, so I have given the 10 shares. Now how I made profit? I took the share from this person on day 1. On the day 1, the price of the share was 100 rupees. I sold those shares. Then on day 5, the price went to 90 rupees. Then I bought at 90 and I gave to that. So the margin between 100 and 90 is my profit. Okay, so that is about it. Fine guys, now moving on. Moving on to the next article. Okay, so invisible boundaries, visible apathy. Invisible boundary, visible apathy. So this particular article, guys, we are going to discuss, and in this particular article, we will only be discussing the academic substance, that particular part which is important for the examination. Okay, you don't need to track the political dimension of this article or actual ground zero coverage. You don't need to go too much there. Now this particular article, guys, we'll see with respect to GS paper number 1, issues of regionalism, as well as within GS paper number 2, federal disputes, interstate disputes. We are going to discuss this particular article. Okay. Okay, now moving on. Now moving on. So basically guys, within Maharashtra and Karnataka, there is a boundary dispute that is going on from so many of the days, and it is coming in news again and again after every few days, though we have discussed it earlier also. But let's discuss first of all, what is this Maharashtra Karnataka boundary dispute all about. Now basically, when we talk about guys the Maharashtra and Karnataka, we know this particular thing that largely after the independence of India, largely after the independence of India, we did not went for a very structured state reorganization. When we talk about the state reorganization, a proper state reorganization happened in India with the coming of the State Reorganization Act of 1956. Is it clear? And with the State Reorganization Act of 1956, the boundary between the state of, just a minute. So, with the coming of the State Reorganization Act of 1956, the boundary between the Maharashtra and Karnataka was defined. Boundary between Maharashtra and Karnataka was defined. Now, there are certain regions which are the bone of contention. The bone of contention is majorly Belgaum, Nipani, Karwar. So this particular red region that you are seeing today, this region today is in Karnataka. This region is in Karnataka, majorly the Belgaum, Nipani and Karwar. But Maharashtra says that this particular region should actually belong to Maharashtra, particularly in Belgaum. Maharashtra says this particular thing that a large number of Marathi speaker people live. Moreover, this particular region, according to Maharashtra, has more close cultural ties with the Maharashtra. Language is more Marathi, language that is spoken is Marathi, culture is Marathi here. So this particular region should actually go to Maharashtra. Now this is not a new dispute. This dispute is since 1956. This dispute is since 1956 that is going on. So what happened? What happened? We saw this particular thing that in 1956, largely on the basis of the committee headed by Justice Fazal Ali, majorly on the basis of the committee headed by Justice Fazal Ali, what happened? State Reorganization Act was carried. State Reorganization Act was carried and state boundaries was divided between the Maharashtra and Karnataka. Now Maharashtra provided this particular thing that, just a minute, regions of Belgavi particularly has been placed in Karnataka, and Maharashtra provided that the Belgavi region, particularly the region here, should be given to Maharashtra. Is it clear or not? Now Maharashtra claims this particular thing that this is the region where Marathi is dominant language. Marathi is dominant language. Now because of Maharashtra's unhappiness on the award that was given by the State Reorganization Act of 1956, government decided to consider this particular matter. And therefore, what happened in 1966, Government of India constituted the commission, that is the Mahajan Mahajan Commission. Mahajan Mahajan Commission was constituted in 1966, that is 10 years later after the State Reorganization Act was formed. Now this particular commission provided that out of the total villages that are disputed, 264 villages should be transferred to Maharashtra, but the Belgaum and 247 other villages that also have been asked for by Maharashtra, they will stay to Karnataka. Now, Maharashtra's major contention was about the Belgaum only, and the Belgaum stayed with Karnataka. So, Maharashtra did not accepted the Mahajan Commission recommendations, and Maharashtra provided that no, Belgaum is to be transferred to Maharashtra. This is something that is going on. So basically what happened, this particular report, Maharashtra rejected the Mahajan committee report, but Karnataka welcomed this. Now Karnataka gave two options to Maharashtra. Karnataka said that either you accept report that has been given by Mahajan Commission or you maintain status quo. What is the status quo? Status quo means that whatever is happening, whatever the present status is or whatever the present boundary is, we stay on that. We are not going to do anything. But Maharashtra did not accepted this particular thing. And actually guys, since 1956 this dispute is going on. From time to time this particular dispute come on political in limelight. Sometimes there are the political issues, sometimes there are the cultural aspirations that emerge, sometimes there are some other disputes which get snowballed in this Belgavi dispute. So this is guys the history of this particular crisis. Now understand this thing. Guys, if you are genuinely preparing for the examination, and for that thing, first of all, I'll advise you that you please go and you please see the previous year papers. The point is that we don't need to go and we need to go beyond that. Fine, our scope of exam is not there. But what we need to see that what constitutional mechanisms we now have to deal with these particular kind of issues or contemporary developments. History part more than sufficient, you don't have space to write more than that. Now coming to present contemporary dimensions in this particular thing. So guys, for this I have taken the content fine from many of the different articles, so please download this PDF notes. Okay, so much of the thing you will not find in this article. Now, so guys, as we have this particular kind of a disputes, okay, now point is that what government can do. So first of all, if Maharashtra and Karnataka, if Maharashtra and Karnataka agree on this particular thing, guys, then Parliament of India, Parliament of India, under the under the article number 3 of the Constitution of India, under article number 3 of the Constitution of India, can amend the state boundaries, Now understand this thing. Earlier there were the disputes between other states also. For example, between Bihar and Uttar Pradesh there were the boundary dispute, between the Haryana and Uttar Pradesh there were the boundary disputes. Once Haryana and Uttar Pradesh got agreed, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar got agreed, what happened? Parliament came out with an act, that is the Bihar Uttar Pradesh Alteration of Boundaries Act 1968 and Haryana Uttar Pradesh Alteration of Boundaries Act 1979. So once Maharashtra and Karnataka agrees that what is actually the boundary, then Parliament has a power, that it can bring the law which will change the boundaries between these two states. Who had given the power to Parliament in this particular direction? Article number 3 of the Constitution of India. Is it clear or not? Now, when this particular dispute is going on, the center government can play the role of a mediator. Center government can play the role of a mediator, can play the role of a facilitator. Now, as we talk about this particular Belgavi dispute that is going on, guys, recently what has happened, Ministry of Home Affairs had particularly met chief ministers of both Maharashtra and Karnataka and has ordered that a 6-member commission will be constituted. 6-member commission will be constituted, which will have 3 ministers from Karnataka and 3 ministers from Maharashtra, and they are going to discuss about this particular boundary issue. So the 6-member commission will discuss, but guys, on the side by side, this dispute is also going on. Okay, now we have some other constitutional mechanisms also when these kind of an issues come. Let's discuss them. So first of all, Supreme Court, just a minute. So first of all, Supreme Court under the article number 131 has the power. Supreme Court has the original jurisdiction. Supreme Court will have the power directly. Original jurisdiction. Supreme Court can deal with the interstate dispute between the center and the state, between the state and the state. Okay. Moreover, we also have Article 263. Now, what Article 263 is all about? Article 263 talks about the interstate council. So under Article 263, President has been given the power that, or President has been given a responsibility that President will constitute an interstate council, and this interstate council will try to resolve the disputes between the states. Now the disputes can be on a boundary, disputes can be on the river, for example, Kaveri river water dispute we have, Mahadai river water dispute we have, or it can be on many other reasons. Okay, so any dispute, it will be resolved by the interstate council. Now this council will work as a forum for discussion between center and the state. Now for the interstate council, guys, in 1988, Sarkaria Commission that got constituted. Sarkaria Commission had suggested that interstate council should come in existence as a permanent body. It should come in existence as a permanent body, and today, actually 1990, the interstate commission was notified as a permanent body. Now recently interstate commission was also in news. Why interstate commission was in news? Because guys, in 2021, interstate commission has got reconstituted. It had got reconstituted. Now 10 union minister will be the permanent invitees. 10 union minister will be the permanent invitees. Okay, so these are mechanisms that can be used in this particular kind of matters. So guys, the way forward that we have discussed, the bodies, okay, all these examples, it can be used in any interstate boundary dispute wherever the state, whichever state is. Moreover, when we talk about UPSC guys rarely asks issues specific to one state. They usually ask theme-based questions. Okay, so that is about it. Now, moving to next article. Okay, moving to next article. So the next article is Kashmir's Pashmina shawl get new age French touch. Now, to be very frank, guys, in article much of exam relevant substance is not there, but this Pashmina shawl happens to be an important cultural heritage, cultural handicraft of India. So, for prelims examination, we are going to see. The point is that the content that I am going to give you here, it doesn't contain much of content from this article. I'll tell you though what is this article, don't worry. But prelim related substances there largely. First of all, let's understand. Now guys, when we talk about the Pashmina, so Pashmina is also called by the name of Kashmir. Okay, so in US, they call it as Kashmir. Fine, why? Because of the fabric out of which this Pashmina shawl is found. These basically the fabric, okay, the goat, Pashmina goat, fine, it is found largely into the region of Jammu and Kashmir. So therefore, it is also called as Kashmir. So what is Pashmina? Pashmina is very fine, excellent quality of fabric which is used to make shawls. And this Pashmina fabric, it comes from the undercoat. It comes from the undercoat of a particular variety of goat. That is the Changtai, also called as the Pashmina goat. So Pashmina goat, Changtai goat, from its fur, this Pashmina shawl will be made. Now this goat is native to the Himalayan region and it is largely found in Himalayas, in Ladakh region, in Nepal, as well as in certain regions of Pakistan, certain regions of Pakistan also it is found. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Pashmina is well known for its softness, for its warmth, for its fine texture. Okay, fine, and for that it is used for making scarf, wraps, shawls, etc. Okay. Now, guys, on Pashmina, there are intricate designs, embroideries, etc. that are done. Now, usually or traditionally, there is the traditional embroidery or traditional designing of the Kashmir region that has been made on the Pashmina. But now, more contemporary designs, particularly the French designs, are being made on this Pashmina shawl. So, what has happened recently? French touch, French design has been given by the artist Maximilian Pellet. Okay, so therefore it is in news. Now you don't need to go and you see this particular thing. Okay, so Maximilian Pellet had displayed an artwork on the Pashmina. Now, not that much important, but as we talk about the Pashmina, you need to understand that from which type of goat it is found. One other more details about the Pashmina I want to give you here, because they were recently in the news. If you are following newspaper analysis regularly, you have seen it earlier also. So basically guys, earlier Pashmina was also in the news. Why? Because recently Directorate of Handicraft and Handloom has also announced the minimum support price. They have announced the MSP for Pashmina shawl. Now understand this thing. Many of the people, many of the artisans are there who are rearing this Pashmina goat, rearing the fleece out of the Pashmina goat, making Pashmina out of that, but they are not getting the adequate remuneration on that particular thing. Okay, designer houses are making millions out of that, but they are not getting it. So therefore, for them, the minimum support price have also been given. Okay, now one more information I want to give you about the Pashmina is that the Pashmina has also been given the GI tag, that is the geographical indication tag. Now what is this GI tag? Geographical indication tag. Okay, so geographical indication tag, it is given to a particular product that is found or that is manufactured or that is produced in one particular region only. Is it clear or not? That is the geographical indication tag. Now, so if we give the GI tag to Pashmina, so point is that the region, such as the region of Ladakh only, there only the Pashmina can be made. If we gave the GI tag to Darjeeling tea, so the point is that the tea only coming from Darjeeling can use that GI tag indication. Okay, so it gives a unique marketability to that particular product, and by that unique marketability, it gets a unique selling proposition. So GI tag are given to enhance the marketability and to give a kind of a uniqueness to a product coming from a particular region. Now this GI tag is given under Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. Who issues it in India? It is issued under GI Act of 1999, but who issues it? They are issued by Geographical Indication Registry under the Department of Industry, Promotion and Internal Trade under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So these are, guys, some of the points with respect to the prelims examination that you need to see it. Okay, now moving on, guys, in this particular dimension, further moving in this particular dimension. Okay, Cheetah project to bring in 12 big cats from South Africa. Okay, guys, if you have any doubt, okay, broker does not earn anything out of it. Broker gets a fixed, broker also gets a margin. Okay, okay, yes dear, my health is fine. Sir, please try to work on newspaper quality. It's blur. If you do black background, I guess problem will be. Guys, I don't think it is blurred. Okay, please dear, try to improve the resolution of your screen, because it is absolutely, I think it's crystal clear. One thing. Second thing is, guys, that if you're talking about these articles, okay, if you are talking about these articles are also visible, but if whatever we have resolution here, it is a default resolution given in the newspaper itself. Okay, so we will not be able to improve it more, because that is the default resolution that is there. Moreover, guys, I don't expect that you read articles from here. They are just to show you that which article we have picked. Okay, fine. So please take the newspaper, and from there you are expected to read that. Now moving on. So just a minute. Okay, now, so first of all, let's read the heading. It says Cheetah projects to bring in 12 big cats from South Africa. Okay, now this particular article, guys, largely contains only one liner concept. We'll see that also, but before that, let's talk about some of background information. First of all, guys, when we talk about the cheetahs cheetahs were seen last in India in around 1948, and after that the cheetahs in India got extincted. And when we talk about the cheetah, we tried to reintroduce the cheetah in India. First, we tried to reintroduce Asian cheetah in India, and we tried to sign an agreement with Iran for that particular thing. But Iran asked for Indian lion in exchange. So therefore, the deal with the Iran got cancelled. Okay. Then we tried to relocate African cheetahs in India. And for that particular thing, guys, already, if you have followed the news, then we have successfully translocated cheetahs from Africa, particularly from Namibia. So Namibia's cheetahs have been translocated in India in Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. That is one thing that has happened. Now what is happening? Government is saying that only 8 cheetahs have come, and now we want more cheetahs. So therefore, we want 12 more cheetahs, and for that particular thing, we have signed agreement with South Africa. So already 8 cheetahs have come in India from Namibia. Now we are importing 12 more cheetahs from South Africa. Okay, so this agreement has been signed. Okay, and now they will come in India. Is it clear or not? Okay, now as per the agreement that has been signed, okay, as per the agreement that has been signed, okay, just I will zoom here so that you can read it. As per the agreement that has been signed, now cheetahs will be transported in India, okay, and they will be reintroduced in Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Earlier, 8 cheetahs were brought from Namibia. Now what has happened? Fine, we will be importing from the South Africa 12 cheetahs annually for the next 8 to 10 years. Okay, so as per the new agreement, now 8 to 10 cheetahs, 8 to 10 cheetahs will be imported annually. Sorry guys, 12 cheetahs will be imported annually for next 8 to 10 years. Okay, so this is something that has happened. But now let's discuss more about the cheetahs. Let's discuss more about the cheetahs. So basically, just a minute. Yes, fine. So guys, as we talk about the cheetah, now the reintroduction of cheetahs in India is being done under the Project Cheetah. Reintroduction of cheetahs is being done in India under the Project Cheetah. Project Cheetah. And when we talk about the cheetah's translocation from Africa to India, it is world's first intercontinental large wild carnivore translocation project. So remember these particular things in your mind. This is the first transcontinental transportation or a translocation that has happened. Okay, let me zoom it out. Now, first of all, as we talk about this cheetah translocation, earlier we imported 8 cheetahs from Namibia. 5 were female, 3 were male. Now, not that much important, but just for the sake of your satisfaction, I'm telling you. Now, they have been released in Kuno National Park. Now, when we talk about the cheetahs, it has been said that the cheetahs are going to help to restore the open forest, grassland ecosystems in India. They have been referred to as a flagship species. They have been referred to as a flagship species. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Kuno National Park has largely been chosen because Kuro National Park sounds very similar to the grasslands in which cheetah has roamed in Namibia. And for that particular thing, we have specially prepared Kuno National Park as well. Now, in this particular thing, first of all, certain species of grasses which are not there palatable, which are not palatable to these cheetahs, which are not preferred by these cheetahs, they have been removed, and selective and controlled use of cattle has been carried here. Is it clear? Then the dog vaccination. So when we talk about the big cats, cheetahs, tigers, they are very much prone to canine distemper parvovirus, CDB virus. Canine distemper parvovirus. Okay, so all the dogs in the villages fine around Kuno National Park, they have been vaccinated with the canine distemper parvovirus and rabies vaccination. Fine. Then moreover, this particular region has also been given enhancement through the army staff, through many of the other community policing will also be provided here, so that the poaching, hunting of these cheetahs don't happen, and soft release enclosures will be created. Okay, and now the cheetahs that we are importing from Africa to India, now the South Africa to India, they will also be quarantined for a particular time. They will be quarantined for a particular time so that they don't bring any disease which is prevalent in Africa in India. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Kuno National Park, fine, there is some more important development about Kuno National Park that you should know. That Kuno National Park, it is a national park. Okay, it was established originally as a wildlife sanctuary. It was originally established as a wildlife sanctuary in 1981, and recently its status of wildlife sanctuary has been changed to the national park. And this status change from wildlife sanctuary to national park happened just 4 or 5 years back, that is in 2018. Okay, so that is all, guys, about this important dimensions about the Kuno. Now, article just contains that for next 8 to 10 years, 12 cheetahs will come annually in India, so that we get a viable population of cheetahs in India. Okay, so this is something that has been there. Now, moving to next article. Okay, so now we have reached to the editorial article, the moral and intellectual crisis in economic policies. The moral and intellectual crisis in economic policies. This particular article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3, issues related to Indian economy, as well as GS paper number 4, ethics also. We are going to see this particular article. Let's see that what has been contained here. Okay, moving on. First of all, guys, we have seen recently that World Economic Forum meet has been held in Davos. World Economic Forum meet has been held in Davos. Okay, so as we talk about the World Economic Forum, guys, what is this World Economic Forum? Let's discuss a little bit about the World Economic Forum. So, World Economic Forum is an annual meet that is held in the Switzerland in town of Davos. It is held in the town of Davos in Switzerland. Okay. In this World Economic Forum, meet, CEOs, okay, and other business leaders, ठीक है, government representatives, civil societies, okay, journalists, they come and they discuss on some of the important economic issues, developmental issues, sustainable developmental issues, etc. So it is held in Davos. Now it is, guys, it is not a meet which is sponsored by under any UN or any government. No, it is a privately held, okay, or it is a non-governmental organization, NGO held meet that is held. So recently in WEF, fine, India also represented itself, okay, and India was majorly concerned on showing itself as how India is going to become a $10 trillion economy. On WEF, India showcased that how India is going to become a $10 trillion economy by 2035. That has been provided. Now, at the same time, though we are saying that we will become a $10 trillion economy, but some economic issues are there that we need to introspect immediately in India. First of all, there is a declining employment elasticity. What it means? It means that with the growth that is coming, okay, with the growth that is coming, job creation is not happening to that particular extent. For example, in 1980s, for example, let's say in 1980s, if there was 1% growth in GDP, 1% growth in GDP, let's say it led to generation of 1000 jobs. But today, if there is 1% increase in GDP, it is leading to only generation of, let's say, 500 jobs. Okay, so with the growth, jobs are not increasing that much. And in the past also we have seen this particular thing, that India has seen the jobless growth as well. So point is that we are talking about making a $10 trillion economy, but where are the jobs? Okay, the next issue that comes here is that even the jobs that have been created, they are not paying good enough. Okay, there is no social security. Particularly today, when we talk about India, large number of employment that is generating in India, it is generating in gig sector, platform sector, that is people working for Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, etc. But they don't pay them sickness allowance, they don't pay them any provident fund, okay, any such kind of a social security is not there. So number one, we don't have job, and even if we have job, they are not good paying, and they don't give any social security benefits. This is also something that is going on. Now the point is, now guys, it has been said that actually there are certain issues that why we are not able to generate jobs and why economic potential in India has not able to scale up too much. Now see this particular thing. Basically, guys, when we talk about the basic principle of economy, we have seen this particular thing, that as economy becomes more and more advanced, we take people out of agriculture and we move them to manufacturing sector. Today, if I tell you guys, India's big problem today, around 54 to 56% people are involved in agriculture directly or indirectly. But at the same time, agriculture is contributing to around 14 to 15% of India's GDP. 14 to 15% of GDP. What it means? It means 56% people are involved in such kind of activities which are giving only 14 to 15% output. The point is that there is excessive people who are working in agriculture. There is the problem of disguised employment. What is disguised employment? Suppose on a particular project 10 people were needed, but what I have done, I have hired 50 people. So people think that yes, they are employed, but actually they are not giving any marginal productivity in this particular project. So in agriculture the same thing is happening, okay, where there is a need of 10 people, there are 20 people who are working. So there is a disguised employment problem. We need to bring that excessive workforce and we need to put them in some productive avenues such as manufacturing sector, service sector, etc. Developed countries have done the same thing in past. So conventional economics say that productivity of the agriculture sector must be improved. Okay, first of all, within agriculture you should give them more capital intensive methods, give them more machinery, give them better inputs, give them harvesters, give them machineries. Okay, and first of all you make them more productive, and secondly, when machines will come, move out the people, from agriculture and rural areas into cities, involve them in manufacturing sector, involve them in modern services, because manufacturing services sectors and services sectors output is more. okay, in terms of the value. Fine, this is something that has happened. Now guys, the point is that we should do this particular thing in the context of India, but the point is that employment is getting crunched because the organized manufacturing service sector are employing few less number of people. Okay, you take people out of agriculture, manufacturing sector don't want the people. Today we see more automation is coming, more tech upgradation is coming. The point is that today, even when we see in India, there is a kind of a slump that is going on, economic slowdown that is going on. So the companies, they want to improve their unit economics. They want to improve their unit economics. Now, they don't have much control on raw material. If raw material is 10 rupees, it will come at 10 rupees. But what they have control? They have control on labor. So what they are doing, they don't prefer that much labor, so they want to improve labor productivity. So even you move people out of agriculture, where they will go? The next issue is there, guys, that in India we have a big informal sector. What is informal sector? Informal sector is that sector of economy where the employee and employer, they don't have any written work agreements. Is it clear? And when we talk about the informal sector, the jobs are less paying there, social security benefits are not much there. Okay, so we have a big informal sector. Okay, and today we see this particular thing that even the formal sector is becoming informal. How formal sector is becoming informal? Now, guys, understand this particular thing that fine. If a company is hiring more than 10 people, it comes in organized sector. It comes in organized sector. Being organized sector, a large number of government obligations, government compliances will be applicable on that. And when a company becomes organized, okay, even the people that they are hiring, largely they have to ensure that they do some written agreements with these people. Permanent jobs are to be given to these people. But understand today what we have seen. We see today that there are third party, or there are the contract labor providers that are there. What are these contract labor providers? Now, guys, see this particular thing. You go in a company, let's say company is hiring 5,000 people, but you find that the security guards, the people who are doing the work as a cleaner, sweeper, they have been hired by some other third party. Okay, as a contract labor, they are not the permanent employees, they are not a permanent payroll of that particular company. So many number of works, even in the formal sector, many number of the works in the organized industries, they are being given to the workers who are being hired on contract. The worker who are hired on contract, and these workers are not being paid social security either by their contracting agencies. So even informal work is coming on. Now you see this thing. Today you talk about the Zomato, Swiggy. Okay, today Zomato and Swiggy has thousands and lakhs of riders who are delivering the food for Zomato and Swiggy, but they are people who are hired through gig work. People who are hired through gig work. Okay, per order they will be paid. They are not the permanent employees. So point is that even in formal sector, we are bringing the informal sector is bringing the labor. That is something that has happened. Okay. Now, further, guys, moving on this particular direction. Further, when we talk about India's economy, we also say that there is also one more problem in India's economy. Why? Because there are too few women in the workforce. Now, when we talk about the women labor force participation rate, women labor force participation rate. Okay, now we have many different estimates. We have periodic labor force survey report data. We have Center for Monitoring Indian Economic Data. In 2017-18 economic survey also the data was given. Fine, data is a little bit different, but if I give you a prospective number, women labor force participation rate has hovered around 25%. 25%. Okay, so we mean that a large number of women are not joining the labor force, and because women are not joining labor force, it has been said that this is a very big problem, that Indian economy is not performing. With more women in the workforce, the economy would grow faster. We say this particular thing. But in this context, there are two arguments that have been given in this particular article. Argument number one, it has been said that it is not entirely correct that women are not participating in the labor force. Since centuries, women had worked in large number on farms. They are working as farmers. They are working as caregivers. They are working as domestic workers in homes, municipalities. They are working as sweepers, weavers, handcraft producers. They are also working as teachers, Anganwadis. They are working as ASHA workers, accredited social health activists. Point is that many of the occupations, okay, for example, they are working in domestic work, they are working as a house help, they are working on the farm. Many of these works, they are unaccounted. Many of the employments they have taken, they are in actually in the unorganized sector, they are in the informal sector. The number one point is that large number of women who are involved in economic sector, they are not being recognized, their contribution is not being recognized. Is it clear or not? More Indian women have been working outside their homes to earn money. So what the problem is? Problem is that the type of work they have done, it is not considered productive work for the economy. We don't consider their work as productive, and most of the time their work is not even accounted. So this is something that we need to work upon. What we need to work? Number one, we need to account for the work that the women are doing, and we need to bring women in formal employment also. So they're working, but they are not working in formal employment. Okay. So here it has been said, pushing more women, pushing more women in formal economy will improve. Okay, giving them permanent jobs, giving them high paying formal jobs with social security, it will improve, very good thing. But there is also one more problem. The problem is that we don't have enough jobs to meet the need of India's 1.4 billion people. We don't have jobs, neither we have for male nor we have for female. Even if you bring the women, how you are going to give them the job? So ultimately the problem is the problem of the job creation that has not been there. So government needs to focus on job creation in long term, medium term, immediately. That is something. So point is that when industrialists are going on Davos, they are talking about growth, but they are not considering this particular thing, that whether they are bringing growth in such a way that the job creation is also happening, whether they are bringing growth in such a way that sustainable development is happening, whether they are bringing growth in such a way that the nature environment is also being conserved. Now you see this particular thing. It has been said that the growth of GDP is actually like a disease. Why it is a disease? Now see this thing. It kills the economy's natural and social host. Now see this particular thing. When we want to improve GDP, what we do? We kill the natural resources. We focus on development. We just we just what we do? We exploit our forest. We exploit the mines, minerals, and all such kind of a thing. Fine, natural resources are converted in commodities to feed the machines. This is something that has happened. You see this particular thing, we focus on building more dams, more roads, bringing more tourists in Himalayas. But all these particular thing has its cost. So growth, where we just treat human society and nature, as means to the goals of producing more wealth for investor, more wealth for corporate, more wealth for people, that is not going to be good. The point is that when we talk about, guys, India, we should not only be concerned about the growth of GDP. We should not only be concerned about the growth of GDP. It is not the only purpose. We have talked about Purna Swaraj, social upliftment, political upliftment, economical upliftment, economic freedom. So what happened in 1947? What happened in 1947? In 1947, we achieved Swaraj, but that Swaraj was in theory. We need complete Swaraj, which means that we just don't want independence from Britishers. We want independence from hunger, ignorance, miseries. We need upliftment from all the injustices that had happened. So economic growth must create economic opportunities for all. The GDP that is improving, it should be inclusive. There should be empathy. There should be compassion. When we talk about the corporates should not only focus on enhancing capitalism, rather their capitalism should be compassionate capitalism. Okay. So these are certain things that are needed to be focused. Okay. Now, moving to next article. India's groundwater governance is in better shape. India's groundwater governance is in better shape. So this particular article is written by Mr. Subodh Yadav, who is a joint secretary in Department of Water Resources, okay, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Okay, so he is talking about the steps that government has taken to enhance the water governance, groundwater governance. Okay, now this particular article, guys, we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 3. GS paper number 1 as well as GS paper number 3. Resources. Okay, now So first of all, guys, some of the data, very important data. Please note down in your notebooks, guys. Very, very important data. Okay, let's take that out. Sir, why dogs are vaccinated? See, uh, dogs, they carry CDV virus. Dogs carry the CDV virus. So if dogs are eaten by a leopard, or if dog or leopard fight is there, what happens? They can transmit that virus to leopard. So therefore, dogs are vaccinated. Okay, Anu, no sound. Anu, the sound is clear. You please check your speaker or the earphone, please. Now, India's groundwater governance is in better shape. First of all, the data with respect to the water resources in India. So, guys, India is the largest groundwater user. Number one, India is the largest groundwater user. Secondly, when we talk about India, we have 18% of the world population. Guys, we have 2.4% of the land, 2.4% of the area, but we have 18% of world population, and we consume around 4% of the total water resources. 4% of the total water resources, and the water that we are consuming, a larger portion of water that we consume, it actually comes from the groundwater. We tap groundwater, okay, through groundwater borings, etc. Now, what happened? United Nations World Water Day 2022 was observed, and the theme of UN World Water Day 2022 was groundwater making the invisible visible. Making the invisible visible. Now, obviously, groundwater is invisible, but it needs to be brought visibly in policy formulation, because we have depleted groundwater to such an extent that if we don't focus on groundwater today, tomorrow groundwater's table will go so much beyond below that the life will not be possible. Now, when we talk about India, India uses a lot of groundwater. India uses a lot of groundwater. Now, see this particular thing. Groundwater is the backbone of India's agriculture, India's drinking water needs. For example, when we talk about the 80% of India's drinking water need, it comes from groundwater. Okay, two-thirds of India's irrigation need. Okay, 66% of India's irrigation, it comes from the groundwater. Particularly, you take example of Haryana, Punjab, and Western Uttar Pradesh. Haryana, Punjab, largely they grow a large paddy. Now, for growing paddy, you need to have minimum 100 centimeter of rain. But in Haryana and Punjab, average rainfall is between 40 to 55 centimeter. But still, they are growing paddy, which needs minimum 100 centimeter of rain. It needs waterlogged fields. But from where that water is coming? That water is coming from groundwater. So point is that a lot of agriculture is sustained on the basis of groundwater. Our drinking needs, our domestic needs, even our industries are using a lot of groundwater. Okay. Now, when we talk about, guys, central government is now working with the state government, union territories to ensure the sustainable groundwater management. And in this particular capacity, these steps have been taken by the central and the state government. Okay. Now, let's discuss this particular thing. First of all, a reduction, what government had taken the goal. Number one, they have taken reduction in groundwater extraction to below 70%. To below 70%. Okay, so groundwater extraction, for example, if I show you here, for our drinking needs, it is 80%. So we need to reduce the groundwater extraction. Okay, so whatever extraction is happening today, we need to reduce it to 70%, less than 70%. Number one. Second thing is that we also need to increase the network of groundwater observation wells. Now, see this particular thing, how we get to know that what is the depth at which the water table is there. Sometimes we say that the groundwater is available at 20 meters. Sometimes we say it is available at 50 meter. Now, if we want to derive an average of a particular region, we need to have groundwater observation wells at a regular geographical intervals. So we are going to build a big network of groundwater observation wells, so that in all these wells we can measure that what is the groundwater level, and we can give an average groundwater tables level in a particular region. The next is we will focus on installing digital water level recorders on real-time basis, so that on real-time basis we get to know whether water table is going down or whether it is improving, going up. We will also be going for periodic monitoring of quality of water, aquifer mapping, data will be generated, will be shared. Okay, this is something that is happening. Okay. Now, We are also going to go for better regulation of groundwater extraction. Moreover, we'll also promote the participatory groundwater management. So communities themselves should ensure that they are using groundwater judiciously. So participatory groundwater management will be taken up. Okay, where government, community, panchayats, municipalities, state government, all will come together, will participate together. Now, in past, we have taken a very important step, guys, also for improving more focus on groundwater management. For example, in 2019, what happened? The Jal Shakti Ministry was created. Now, Jal Shakti Ministry created with the merger of Ministries of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, along with the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. They got merged and the Ministry of Jal Shakti was formed because it was believed that water is a single common resource. Why you are treating the water differently? For example, river water is being treated differently, drinking water is being treated differently. So to deal water as a comprehensive whole, Jal Shakti Ministry was constituted in 2019. Okay. Moreover, what government has done? Government has also started the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Jal Shakti Abhiyan to transform Jan Shakti, that is the people's power, to develop the people's, to make it a kind of a Jan Andolan. Okay, you might have heard about the one Jan Andolan, where people come together and they take forward a particular kind of a movement for particular thing. So as we have such movements in the past, so we are going to start the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, where the Jal Shakti will be where we'll transform Jan Shakti into Jal Shakti. We will focus on developing asset creation. For example, rainwater harvesting projects will be developed so that rainwater can be collected, can be used judiciously. Okay, catch the rain campaign was also started, awareness campaign, so that people don't waste water, so that people conserve water. For agriculture, for example, much of dependence on water should be reduced. So for that thing, awareness campaign has also been started. Moreover, along with these awareness campaigns, government has also started many other projects. Now see this thing. This particular article is a very good article because all the initiatives for for conservation of groundwater, they have been given in one single article. So very, very important article. So what other projects are there? Okay. So we also have started Atal Bhujal Yojana. Now, Atal Bhujal Yojana is specifically to conserve the groundwater. Fine. So, for the management, conservation of groundwater, judicious usage of groundwater, Atal Bhujal Yojana is there. National project on aquifer management is also there. National project on aquifer management is also there. So, these are the two projects. Moreover, participatory governance we have already taken up. Now, government is also focusing on heli-borne based survey. Heli-borne surveys. What are the heli-borne surveys? Guys, see this particular thing. That heli-borne survey, it is just the 3D imaging. Okay, so a particular geographical region, you will make a 3D map of that thing, and up till 500 meters below the ground. So a 3D map of a region up till 500 meter below the ground will be made, so that we can identify where the water aquifers are located, what is the water level in these different water aquifers. So we are also using such high technology mapping, such as the heli-borne based surveys. Please keep it in mind. Then after that, guys, we also have more than 65,000 monitoring stations for monitoring the groundwater. So how much groundwater is being extracted by industries, urban clusters. Fine. For better monitoring, we have more than 65,000 groundwater stations. And according to groundwater assessment, it has been provided that there is a 3% reduction in the number of overexploited groundwater units. So this is an improvement. Fine. Then there is a 4% increase in the number of safe category unit. So on 2017, when we compare till 2022, there is an improvement. Two fronts. Please keep it in your mind. Number one, the source. What is the source? Source is Groundwater Assessment 2022 report. And in that particular report, number one, 3% reduction in the overexploited groundwater units and 4% improvement in the safe category units. This is something that has been there. Okay. Now, moreover, apart from that particular thing, dynamic groundwater assessment will also be done annually to have a long-term horizon as well. Now, at the same time, guys, we also need to ensure this particular thing, that when we talk about the groundwater, We need to continue this as a kind of a Jan Andolan, as a kind of a Jan Abhiyan. Moreover, at the same time, government is also actively working. And when we talk about the government's working here, government is bringing center together, state together, union territories together. And as government is bringing together, what is happening? Overall, it is also reflecting the cooperative federalism in managing the water resources. This is something that is happening. Okay. Moreover, we also need to protect our water resources from anthropogenic pressures, etc. In this particular capacity, guys, we are also taking the Jal Jeevan Mission. No, what is Jal Jeevan Mission? As per Jal Jeevan Mission, by 2024, functional household tapped water connection is to be provided to all the rural households. So, we not only want to protect water, but we also want to protect the water, safe water, clean water. Okay, so this is something about it. Now, further, guys, moving on. Before that, ओके सर, आई एम रौनक कुमार सिंह। मैं दिल्ली में पीएसआई जॉब करता हूँ सर। मैं इसके लिए प्रिपरेशन करना चाहता हूँ, बट व्हाट रौनक यू नीड टू राइट, आगे क्या है, व्हाट सर? द्रविडियन वाई फाइट फॉर लिंग्विस्टिक, dear, please, why fight for linguistic, or you are saying why fight? Please, guy, dear, write your question again. Sir, what is a safe category unit? Safe category unit are those aquifers, those wells where the water is at a safe level. Too much water is not exploited. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Okay. Rise in water bird count recorded in Kerala's capital. Okay. Now, this particular article we'll see with respect to the prelims examination. Prelims examination. Now, before going in this particular article, guys, I would like to tell you some of the background information that you need to know for your prelims examination, because if the questions will come, they have largely been asked from this thing only. Now, first of all, guys, what has happened recently? The Asian water bird census was held in India. It was held from 7 January to 22 January. 7 January to 22 January, Asian water bird census was held. First of all, what do we mean by the water bird? Who are water bird? Water bird are those birds which are dependent on wetland, which are ecologically dependent on wetland. For their food, they are dependent on wetland. For their habitat, they are dependent on wetland. Okay, so the birds that are dependent on wetland, they are called as water bird. So to survey that number of water birds that are there in India, number of species of water bird that are there in India, the Asian water bird census is held. Now, as we talk about the Asian water bird census, it is the part of international water bird census. It is a part of international water bird census, and who coordinates it, who runs it? It is coordinated by the Wetland International. Keep it in your mind. Wetland International, it is a non-governmental organization which aware people with respect to the conservation of wetland. In India, Bombay Natural History Society. Bombay Natural History Society, please write it. Bombay Natural History Society is a partner of Wetland International. Okay, okay. Okay, WWF, World Wildlife Fund. Fine, they are the partners of the they are the partners with the Wetland International, and they help the Wetland International to carry the Asian water bird census. So Asian water bird census, basically what it does, it tracks the populations, the species of the water birds in Asian region. Now, as we talk about the Asian water bird census, it was started in 1987. Initially, it was started for Indian subcontinent, that is India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc. But over the years, Asian water bird census has grown to include the countries such as Afghanistan, Japan, Southeast Asia, even Australia, and all them, they have been included. Okay. Now, when we talk about international water bird census, within international water bird census, there are the different legs of the international water bird census. For example, we have international water bird census of Africa, Europe, water bird census of West Asia, Neotropics, etc. Okay, so this is about the water bird census. Fine, who carries it in India? Bombay Natural History Society is a partner. Now, guys, in this particular article, what they have done? They have provided that what is the change in the number of water birds in the Kerala's capital. Is it clear or not? Now the point is that guys, here they have given the name of the so many of the species. For example, 5,396 birds from 70 species from 11 sites, they have been surveyed, and different which species number increased, which species number decreased, that has been provided. The point is that 70 species only from Kerala, one district, have been surveyed. Now this is not only for Kerala, it is for entire country. So hundreds and thousands of species of water birds, and their survey find whose population increased, whose population decreased. Now the point is that you are not too much required, to go in, we are not too much required to go and study the exact number of the species, because neither it's required for exam, nor it is asked in the exam, and even you will not be able to remember it. So you need to understand that what is the Asian water bird census, okay, what it is focuses upon, and all such kind of things. Okay, so that is all guys about this particular article. And now further moving on. So let's take the mains practice question for the today. So today's mains practice question reads, as one of the fastest growing economies, India will need adequate groundwater resources to manage anthropogenic pressures. Just a minute guys. To manage anthropogenic pressures. In this context, discuss the significance of the Jal Jeevan mission. Fine. Now, when we talk about this particular thing, Jal Jeevan mission, it happens to be an important part, this happens to be an important question that can be asked either in GS1, even in the developmental issues in GS2, it also can also be asked, and even in GS number 3, it can also be asked. So that is all about it. It will be a 10 marker question. Fine. Please try to attempt it. And guys who are new here, you can write the answer and you can upload answer. Where to upload? You will go to our main Telegram channel. On our main Telegram channel, there is a pinned comment that I have given. In that pinned comment, there is a link for another peer-reviewed group. So there you can upload your answers, and there other aspirants are also uploading. So you can get an inspiration that what points other are writing, what you could have written, and fine. The aspirants there, they give review to each other also. So you can upload it there. Okay, moving on. Sir, what is neotropics? Okay, so neotropics are the regions such as the Central America, Caribbean region, South America. These regions are called as neotropics. Okay, sir, what is the major impact excessive use groundwater? What is the major impact of use of groundwater? See, if there is excessive use of groundwater, now see this thing, we need groundwater. For many processes, we need groundwater. If you excessively exploit groundwater, what will happen? After a time, groundwater will go beyond the recovery. Okay, and if it goes beyond the recovery, how the life will be possible? Certain regions, they don't have a river, they don't have irrigation canals, they purely dependent on groundwater. So exploitation of any resource is going to create problem in the long run. Okay, sir, how to prepare art and culture? For art and culture, first of all, read the basic, there is an NCERT on fine arts, read that. Okay, art and culture के लिए सबसे पहले the most important thing, that make your ancient history strong, because if you have done your ancient, 60% of your art and culture will be covered. Then you can go, and there is a book on fine arts, I think of 11th standard, it's there. Okay, that you can follow, and Nitin Singhani is a very good book. You can follow that. Okay, or CCRTs. Okay, so that is about it. So guys, fine, now we'll meet on